Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Fab 5. I am your host, Moonlight Swami, and today I am bringing you guys week number 5, I guess, technically, of the NPA. I will be taking on the Tampa Bay Luxrays, led by TheXception as the coach. They are coming into this matchup at 2-2. Coming off of losses to the Hampshire Haunters and Luster City Pokemon Club after defeating the Orlando Magikarp and the Duke City Doublades in the first 2 weeks. We are in at 4-0, and we're rolling. I'm really excited for this match. He has a really good team, and we have an interesting core because, first and foremost, he has some mons that definitely are a little bit scary for us. The two that come to mind are Hitmontop and Darmanitan. Mega Absol is obviously a huge threat at all times, but I feel like we at least have ways to combat it. We don't have too many ways to combat the other mons, so that's my only concern. Tampa Bay Luxrays, they're 2-2, and I'm going to select the rules right now. Normal. Okay. But he has some really strong Pokemon. His team consists of Latias, Ferrothorn, Darmanitan, Hitmontop, Diancie, Ampharos, Mega Absol, Araquanid, Dusknoir, Porygon Z, and Gastrodon. So the Pokemon that I've prepared the most heavily for, probably it's going to be Ferrothorn. I have Fire-type attacks on, I believe, Tyranitar, Weezing, Mew, and that's it. I don't have a Fire-type attack on Volcarona, but I'm bringing Volcarona. This Volcarona is going to be interesting because it's a Quiver Dance set with Flyinium Z to deal with the Araquanid. I don't expect it to KO straight up at +1, but it can do about 90% to it. And the team that he brought, no Mega Absol! Oh my god, I'm so happy. I am so happy. Araquanid, Latias, Diancie, Porygon Z, I'm assuming that's Scarfed, Dusknoir, and Hitmontop. So for our team, we brought Buzzkill, the Volcarona, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Mew, Weezing, and Haxorus. So we were prepared for the pretty much everything. We will outspeed everything with Mew, but I think it's a really cool set because we also have Transform. So if he wants to start setting up with Latias, we can Transform and then match. I have Dragon Dance on Haxorus, I have Sand Rush, and I have Stealth Rocks on Tyranitar. So Weezing is our defensive wall. I think Mew is probably the best lead. The only thing, he does have a way to burn us. Araquanid can be an issue. If it's Assault Vested, it'll obviously take a Flyinium Z a lot better, but we have a couple Rock Slide users. We basically have a lot of ways to deal with everything. So I'm excited for this, and we're going to get underway. Also, Tyranitar will outspeed the Dusknoir, and most importantly, we are running the Smooth Rock on Tyranitar this time around, so we will get 8 full turns of Sand instead of 5. We're going to lead with Mew, and he is going to lead with his Skeeter, which is probably the Araquanid. Yes. Okay. So Araquanid is interesting because it's just a bulky Pokemon as a whole. U-turn probably is the smartest play right now, and we can go into Weezing because we can Toxic it. Nothing on his team is immune to Toxic, which is fantastic. And Weezing doesn't take too much. So I think I'm going to U-turn out into Weezing and see what he goes for. He might be scared of the Trick here, because I've run Trick on Mew a few times, so if he does switch out the Araquanid, then we're going to be able to get into a better position moving forward. because we will be able to select our switch in, as obviously he would go out first. So we'll see exactly what he goes into, what he's going to do here. Tyranitar this week is not so much an attacker, but it is a support Pokemon. Obviously, with Rock Slide, it'll still do a ton to an Araquanid, but we're not rocking a boosting item. We are max attack, but we have no real speed investment. I think we just have enough to outspeed if he wants to speed creep us. But it's a Stealth Rock, Fire Punch, Rock Slide, Crunch set, so it's meant to deal with Latias, it's meant to deal with Araquanid, and it's also meant to deal with Dusknoir. So he stays in, takes a decent amount of damage from a U-turn that is actually negative nature, and it's not stab. So I'm afraid of a bug-type attack. I think Weezing is probably the smartest play here. If I can get a Toxic onto this thing, by all means, we will outspeed it, guaranteed, I'm pretty sure. And here comes the shiny Weezing, and he goes for the Lunge, which will lower our attack, but we don't care about attack at all. So this thing cannot get burned, which is something to keep in mind. Anything on his team want to take a Toxic? I would say no. He doesn't have Magic Bounce, which is fantastic, but I think a safe Toxic here probably would start to help. I don't know what switches in. Maybe Latias, but I don't think a Toxic is really a risky play. He does like to reposition a lot, which is something to keep in mind, but the Dusknoir and the Hitmontop both get walled by this. Diancie doesn't worry me too much, just from the perspective of it's Diancie, it's not very fast. It could technically, I don't know if it can Rock Polish. I'm going to look that up right now before I assume anything. I know that it has Clear Body, so it's not going to lose any stats, but it does get Sharpen, which will raise its attack, Harden, Skill Swap, Safeguard, Blinky. That is the Latias, yes. And Latias will take a Toxic. So that is fine by me. Latias is an interesting Pokemon because it obviously can provide a good amount of pressure. Normal Latias, does it outspeed us? I think it does. I think it hits 110. So that will outspeed Volcarona. Yeah, 110. I have a feeling he's going to want to go for a Calm Mind. Latias is a scary Pokemon, but it's not the most offensive in the world. It can be made offensive through some boosts, but it doesn't gain access to any fighting type attacks at all, which means that I think I can probably safely go into Tyranitar here and at least set up the sand for the foreseeable future. We are carrying X-Scissor on our Excadrill. But Crunch is obviously something to keep in mind, and the Sandstorm is something that I really like. So we'll see if he goes for a Calm Mind. Maybe he'll go for a Psychic. Goes for the Surf. Anticipating the switch, we have a lot of HP. This will give us an idea about the set. That didn't do too much. That was a very clean hit from Tyranitar, or to Tyranitar. Let's say Latias. How much did that do? 127. That's 35%. So if this had Surf on it, how much would it do in the sand? Okay, that's probably right in line with a max special attack set. Maybe. So what's going to switch in here? Hitmontop is probably the safe bet. But I think I'm going to go for a Crunch. Actually, no. I think setting up Stealth Rocks here is probably the smartest move, but at the same time... it can just Rapid Spin them away. What on his team? Araquanid doesn't like Stealth Rocks. I think I'm going to go for the Crunch. Maybe he'll overpredict and stay in. Okay, he'll stay. He'll switch out. In comes Chuck Norris, which is the Hitmontop. And a crunch is going to come out. It's going to get the Intimidate off. So it's not Technician, which probably shouldn't have been anyway. And that does a decent amount of damage considering I don't have any item on this that could help. And it's going to take its damage. I mean, we get the defense drop, and it is leftovers. Okay. So we don't know the item on Latias, but leftovers there. Latias could be Choice Scarf. If it's Choice Scarf, we still outspeed it with Excadrill, to my knowledge, but we'll have to see. There's no point in staying in here. Wheezing is the safest play, but I feel like we can go into Volcarona here, and maybe we could get a burn on this. You know, let's see. Volcarona. I don't want to switch into a potential Rock Slide, which is my only concern. He might double switch out, which is definitely a possibility. Like I said, he loves to reposition himself. Let's see what a Rock Slide does to Volcarona. It does a lot. It could KO. Actually, we could go into Mew here, because there's no reason not to. We are Choice Scarfed. We'll see what he does, but I don't think there's a reason not to go into Mew. I don't think he can hit this particularly hard. Goes for a close combat. Nice. So now he's at -2 defense. And he really can't touch us beyond the extent of what he just did. Sand is going. It's whittling him down a little bit. He's going to find out that we're not Scarfed, of course, but based on that damage to Mew, let's see, close combat, 144, 31%. That's a max attack. Hit him on top. Didn't do 31% because of the Sandstorm, but I think I'm going to go for the Transform here and see what he switches into. There's no way he's staying in. We will get an Intimidate off against it if it stays in, but I haven't used this set on Mew yet, or I haven't actually been able to put it into practice yet, but I love having Transform on Mew because it freaks people out. It's basically a hard Ditto set where I actually physically transform, and that's something that people have to keep in mind, but he goes for the Sucker Punch. Oh, no, friend. No. Here comes our own Hitmontop. And Sucker Punch to Mew would have done probably a good amount of damage. Yeah, that would have done quite a bit. But we go for the Transform, and we kind of, in a way, beat him at his own game, because now we get to see what his set is. Mach Punch, Close Combat, Rock Slide. That was the big one. Knowing that he has Rock Slide, I can safely say that Volcarona was not the right switch. So he doesn't have any way to get rid of rocks on this. He might have Defog on the Latias, but outside of that, he doesn't have a way. I'm going to go for a Close Combat, I think. We'll see if he stays in. He probably won't. But we're going to go for the Close Combat at -2. Hitmontop. Hitmontop. At -2, it's going to take probably a good amount of damage. It's not going to KO it, but this will do a lot. So now he's on the ropes a little bit. We'll see if he switches into Dusknoir, but now we do know that this has Rock Slide. And I think that's the best part about this set, is that you know what your opponent is carrying. You're able to kind of anticipate it. Comes in feeling frisky, which is going to be the Dusknoir. So it's a Frisk set, as he's going to find out we are Choice Scarfed, and the Close Combat's not going to affect it. Okay. So Mew's taking some residual damage from the Sandstorm, which is okay. At this point, I think we can go into Volcarona, but Dusknoir probably has Rock Slide as well. So I have to keep that in mind. At one point, I am going to double switch on him and see if he's ready for it, but Continental Crush, let's see, Rock Slide? Rock Tomb, Rock Slide, yep. He's probably deathly afraid of the Volcarona. So I am going to go into Tyranitar. How many turns of Sandstorm are left before I do that? We have 3 more turns. Okay. I'm going to go into Wheezing. And if I can get a Toxic up on this thing, then fine. But 3 more turns of Sandstorm to keep in mind. No point in not doing this. It's going to go for the Ice Punch. Predicting what? What would the Ice Punch have hit hard? Wouldn't have touched Volcarona. Couldn't have hurt Mew. I guess, oh, we expected the Haxorus here. But this thing is a threat to carry, it's always a threat to carry Will-O-Wisp. So, I don't really want to switch it in unless I have to. I think I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb, expecting the Latias to come back in. He could Will-O-Wisp this to try to get some chip damage, but we also have Pain Split, which is a fun tech to have. We've seen everything except for Porygon and Diancie, and I would have to say that this Dusknoir set is probably going to have Shadow Sneak on it, probably Will-O-Wisp, Ice Punch. Not sure, but if it's a banded set, then it's not going to do too much, if that's how much that just did, but I doubt it is. I didn't remember to check for its item, I just know that it is a Frisk set. But, worst case scenario, we get a Sludge Bomb off against Latias, who's already dealing with toxic damage, and we can start working that down a little bit. Feeling Frisky switches out, and in comes Skeeter, which is going to be the Araquanid. So, I don't know if he expected me to switch out, but let's see what this does. Maybe he was expecting a Will-O-Wisp. But that did some good damage, and now it's below half. If that just did that much, this can't be an Assault Vest set. Araquanid should have taken that better. I mean, it did like 30%, which... yeah. I think Toxicking this probably would work, but I want to put it into Sludge Bomb range where I can take it out with pretty much anything. Goes for Liquidation, so it's faster! What on earth? I'm 60. Sandstorm subsides. Okay. So, this thing's going down in 1 more turn. Maybe it's a banded set. Could that be possible? Liquidation, no. Band would have done more. It's faster than me, though. So, it must have a good amount of speed in it. So it gave up speed for bulk. I guess it was speed creeping Wheezing, which is fine, but based on how much that just did, I should be able to live another one. Ice Punch plus Sandstorm. Yeah, I should be able to. And if not, it doesn't matter. I get a clean switch in and I can reset up the sand. We do live with 7, and I think Wheezing's about to take out Araquanid, which it does. Okay. That's the first KO of the match. Which is fantastic. So, Araquanid is down. It hits 42 speed. If Dusknoir comes back in, it's probably going to be a Shadow Sneak coming. I don't think there's a reason for it to come in, but what I could do is I could Pain Split whatever does come in. Maybe he'll feel like he's going to try to set up on me something with either Diancie or Porygon or something or other. But we have no speed investment. We're just a base 80 speed Wheezing, or base 60 speed, so 80 stat Wheezing with bold nature. But Wheezing, while it walls the Hitmontop well. Hitmontop can't really hit Mew, so the only thing that would be really viable for would be Dusk Noir. And I have a feeling that we probably can deal with it using other means. But now we actually get to keep our, whatchamacallit, set. I'm going to go for a Pain Split. We'll see if this is something that's just going to go for a straight attack. If he sets up, we know it's not Scarfed. And if it's not Scarfed, then Tyranitar can come in next turn and do some big damage. Otherwise, you know, we'll see. Goes for the Surf. Okay. So, safe play. Latias kills Weezing with Surf. Toxic damage is racking up. Volcarona to a Latias. Probably could kill it, right? With Bug Buzz? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Do we outspeed? Let's say this is just rocking Surf. Surf would do some good damage, but I can probably just... I'm not going to set up on it. Rocks no longer are that big of a deal, but they're still useful. I think Volcarona, just in case this is Scarfed, then it will two-shot. I think I'm going to go for... No, I can go into Mew and I can just transform again. Or I could just U-turn. Mew's U-turn will do a good amount of damage. 34% or so. So we'll find out if this is Choice Scarfed or not. I mean, that's a pretty safe play. He didn't bring Gastrodon, and we did prepare pretty heavily for it. Anytime you see two Pokemon with times 4 weaknesses, you do have to prepare heavily for them. But at the same time, just because of the fact that if you don't have other ways to hit them, something like Ferrothorn has only, I believe, 2 weaknesses, being Fire and Fighting, Gastrodon being Grass, and I think that's it. So, you know, when you have something that only has 1 weakness, you have to prepare a little bit more. But when you have something like Diancie, you can hit it with Earthquake, with a Steel move, or this or that. You know, there are ways around it. And for this Mew specifically, U-turn was for the Mega Absol to outspeed it. We could live a Sucker Punch and outspeed it. So we'll find out right now if this is... Okay, so it's not Choice Scarf. Fantastic. So we switch out, and we're going to go into Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is not that valuable to us right now. And the reason that it's not is it doesn't do much. It hits Dusk Noir, but that's really it. As he's going to go for the Z move. It's going to be Z Dragon. Ooh. So Dragonium Z. I think he really was afraid of the Mew, but he's going to burn this here, and it's going to KO, I'm assuming, Tyranitar. Let's see. I'm assuming it's a Draco Meteor set, but it doesn't KO? Wow! Wow! Tyranitar, you absolute monster! Okay. At this point, I'm gonna go for the Stealth Rocks and let this thing go down. But we just survived that. That's crazy. What in the world is... Tyranitar in the sand. Devastating Dracoline is 59 to 71% on this set. That's absurd. Technically, we could have gone for like a Fire Punch, but if Hitmontop's going to come back in, I assume he'll probably want to save Blinky for the moment. But now, one thing that I'm really excited about is we get to use the Z Crystal on the Hitmontop for Volcarona, which is really going to be fantastic. Hurricane does a lot, but even with no boost, Supersonic Sky Strike will KO that. Let's see what happens to a Dusk Noir. To a Dusk Noir. It won't, but +1. Okay, we'll keep it in mind. But I think the safest play is to go into... Okay, so he's going to switch out. It's going to be the Hitmontop. So he's not going to let Latias go down just yet, which is fine by me. We do set up Stealth Rocks, and that should be not the end of Latias, but this at least limits his switching potential on us. I have a feeling that Latias is going to be a mon that is carrying the defog, just because we know it's not Scarfed, but I'm very content letting this go down. I'm just going to go for a crunch. KO me, Mr. Chuck Norris. You're going to have to go for, I would assume, a Mach Punch, just to be safe. But the crunch is going to come out if you don't, and... Oh yeah, he has to. Mach Punch is the only logical play here. No point. If he goes for the Overpredict, then I guess we'll get a hit off, potentially. But at 25 health, I don't think we'll survive even a Rock Slide from Hitmontop, which would be a little unfortunate, but what are you going to do? We do resist. So, 25, that's 12%. Rock Slide. Oh yeah, no, we can't survive that. So, Rock Slide probably wouldn't be the safest. Goes for the close combat, so he does outspeed, but I don't get that. You're gonna have to switch out immediately now, and I can just go into, well, let's see. Let's say this is max attack, max HP with an Adamant Nature. Haxorus is just ridiculous. At +1, Outrage can take it out. But we have the stand up. I don't need to go into that. I can just go into this. And actually, that's not a good idea. Let's see, close combat probably could kill our Excadrill at this point. I'm assuming. Which would not be pleasant. Yeah. So we couldn't KO it, but... I think Haxorus is the play here. How much does Hitmontop do to us? Hitmontop, with that set to a Haxorus, -1 defense. Close combat does a pretty good amount, and then Mach Punch does a pretty good amount as well. Technically it would be a 2-hit, but at -1, I think I'm going to go for the Outrage. If he stays in, then fine, but Outrage should KO this, guaranteed. He does switch out. If he goes into Diancie... Oh, goes into Porygon Z. Oh, that's not going to like this. After the Stealth Rocks, Porygon Z is going to take a ton from this Outrage. And you know what? Even Diancie coming in afterwards is fine, because we get... Okay, yeah. So Haxorus takes that out. Hitmontop kills T-Tar. Haxorus kills Porygon Z. In comes Diancie, so obviously it's going to get a hit off on us because we can't do anything. The Moonblast from Diancie probably will kill us. Actually, it's guaranteed to kill us, which is okay. I did take out the Porygon Z in the back. Not the best play in the world, honestly, but I want to see what Excadrill can do at +1 to a Hitmontop. +1? Okay. So, Mach Punch won't finish us anywhere close. I think after this turn I'm going to switch in to the... Now, this is going to be interesting because if he doesn't go and KO Haxorus here, because we can't switch out, then I can KO this thing back, most likely with an Earthquake, or get very close. And with Diancie down, I have no fear. Yeah, Outrage fails. Goes for the Trick Room. Interesting. Trying to eliminate the speed advantage that we have. That's actually really bad for us, because we don't have a way to particularly deal with this under these conditions. It's going to go for the diamonds. No, it's going to go for a Moonblast. I'm not going to switch out, though. I want him to overpredict this. We can start burning turns. Let's see, we have 3 more turns of Sandstorm. He has 4 turns of Trick Room. I'm going to go for the Earthquake and hope that he's overpredicting this. Expect the Excadrill. Expect the Excadrill. We have a lot of speed left on our team, so this is actually really important. But go for the Diamond Storm. Even a Diamond Storm here isn't at the end of the world. If he somehow got to +2, then obviously we'd be in a little bit of trouble, but... It's a Trick Room set. Goes for the Hidden Power. What is it? Went for the Hidden Power Rock. Ooh, it's a Shuckaberry Diancie. But now it's definitely going to get KO'd. We are burning the Trick Room turns, but I'm glad I didn't switch into Volcarona. That's not Hidden Power Rock. That can't be. Hidden Power Fire. No. Not HP Ice. What on earth is that? HP Dark? There's no point in running Hidden Power if you have Diamond Storm. But now he has to think. What am I going to do? I already did the prediction once. It might be HP Ground. Goes to the Moonblast. Okay. And that will take out our Haxorus. Okay. Diancie kills Haxorus. We're not in a good spot here. So we have 3 Pokemon left, and I can't go into Volcarona. At all. Not a possibility here. Let's say it's carrying Hidden Power Ground. HP Ground, not going to do enough. Earth Power? Could. But Excadrill is really, really safe here. Even Rock Slide should KO that relatively... It's not Life Orb. How many turns of Trick Room are left? 2. I'm going to go for the EQ here, because I don't have a reason not to. Couldn't have been HP Fire. I don't know what that was. There's no reason that you're not rocking Diamond Storm if you're Diancie. But it does gain access to Earth Power, doesn't it? It does. So why aren't you running it? but he has 4 Pokemon left, and Excadrill is about to lose its speed advantage. Withdrew Diancie into Blinky. But, so he sacks off the Latias to go into Excadrill? I mean, to go into Hitmontop? Oh! Now that is big. What can Latias do? Can Latias actually kill us? I don't want to give this thing an opportunity to roost on me. And I definitely am slower now. So I'm going to go for the X-Scissor and not risk it. So Latias is going to go down. And this is the final turn of Trick Room. But if it roosts, we are in such deep trouble that I can't risk it at all. So an X-Scissor is going to come out. Latias will die on the next turn, so there's no point in switching it out. It's Diancie, Dusknoir, and Hitmontop versus us. And Excadrill deals with Dusknoir. So I have to preserve it. Hitmontop is the issue. And Diancie is not a threat at all unless they set up Trick Room again. So he's going to switch in Hitmontop. I'm going to switch into the Mew. And I'm going to, based on how much health I have left, I'm either going to is Mew the right play? It's not. I could let Mew go down and take out the Hitmontop. Feeling frisky. The Dusknoir. Oh no! You're giving me an opportunity here. Even if this thing is carrying Fire Punch, I KO it. Oh, I'm at +2? Oh no, I still can kill you. Or get very close. I'm going for the Earthquake, man. What are you doing? If he goes for Pain Split, I guess that would be the only way that he survives. But I should at least get 61% on this thing if it's if it has a ton of HP. He could go for another Trick Room. If he goes for another Trick Room, we lose. So I do need to KO this thing. Please, no Trick Room. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Alright, I think we got this then. Okay, I think we got this. In comes Buzzkill. And I don't need to set up on it at all. I'm going to go for the Bug Buzz and take out Dusknoir. He was obviously really afraid, but I don't think he has a way out now. Giga Drain can do so much to Diancie, and unless he can KO Mew, I think we have it. He would need to Diamond Storm, so he wouldn't be able to set up the whatchamacallit. I don't know how much health Mew has left, so that's the only concern. But Bug Buzz is going to come out. I don't remember how much health Diancie has. That's the only issue. It's probably around 50%, right? It used its Shuckaberry, so it doesn't have recovery. Hitmontop does, but Bug Buzz is going to kill Dusknoir. So now the question becomes, do you go into Diancie or Hitmontop? I would assume it's going to be Top because it has Rock Slide. And he's going to assume that I don't have a way to kill him. But against Hitmontop, even if it has... Oh, he went into Diancie. Oh! Okay, Diancie. Diancie. Giga Drain. Only thing I can do. I can't let him set up a Trick Room on us. This is coming down to the wire. I'm very scared right now. I probably need a crit to kill this, unless it doesn't have max HP. If it doesn't have max HP, we win. Because it's about, looks like about 45%. Otherwise, it is a roll at best. Come on, Volk. Show me the strength. So, show me the strength. My heart is pounding right now. Giga Drain comes out. No! 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 Oh, Corona! That has to be 1 HP. Just miss your Diamond Storm, please. We have 120 HP. He's going to outspeed us, so he's got this unlocked. I'll cut the differential down, but I don't have anything else. Good game to the exception. That was just absurd. That was so close. What could we have done better? Volcarona's set was perfect. I guess we just didn't prepare enough for Trick Room. Losing Weezing was really big for that. Diamond Storm does connect. It's not, I don't think that'll kill. No. But that puts us into the range for Sucker Punch. Mew kills Diancie. And what's left? It's Hitmontop. That has way too much health. Yeah, we don't stand a chance. Good game to the exception. as Mew goes down. So that's our first loss of the season, and I think we played it well, not well enough. Like I said, what could we have done better? I'm gonna look at my sets. Ways to deal with Diancie. We had no counters for Trick Room. And you know what's really funny? I considered bringing Wishy-Washy instead of Haxorus really heavily, and Kecleon as well. Both of those under Trick Room would have been dominant. The sets that I would have had, just for my own curiosity's sake. Kecleon to Diancie. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have done that much. Trying to think. Oh, it was HP fighting. I have a feeling that it lived on 2 health from that Giga Drain. But yeah, 2 HP. You know, sometimes luck isn't in your favor. If I got a higher roll, that would have KO'd and we would have won. But you know, sometimes that's just kind of how it goes. It was at 44%. The calc had you doing like 39-46. Yeah. Man. Ugh. He was at 44%, so I literally got a mid-roll, not mid-roll, it was a just under a high roll. So it was a mid-roll in the end, but would Dragon Claw have been better on Haxorus? No. Because the Shuckleberry still had its roll. I wouldn't have been able to kill Porygon Z like that. So Mew with Flamethrower and Energy Ball was fine. In the end, the Choice Scarf hurt us because of Trick Room, but that's something that we didn't really think of. I guess that's one way to deal with the speed on our team, to go and reverse it. I didn't expect him to go that. I probably should have thought of that once he... Wow. 252 and 160... Oh, and 16 special defense. 16 the Volcarona. 39-47. Oh, that Trick Room really did it. Trick Room was clutch. It was right in the middle, too. He was at 44 HP, 44%, and I could have done 39.4 to 47.1. That was a true roll, and that was it. Tyranitar was taken out by Hitmontop. I got the sand up. Dusknoir killed Excadrill. That was pretty big. Because we missed a couple of KOs just barely in this match. And, you know, considering how much we did to him in terms of damage output, I don't think there was a way that we could have done more. Letting Weezing go down was a mistake, for sure. I thought it had outlived its usefulness until Trick Room came up. But Diancie still would have undersped us. So technically it wouldn't have. I guess we could have sacked it off in something else's place. But I think that's pretty much it. We got a pretty good feel for his team. Just didn't have enough in us at the end, and you know what happens. But we are now 4-1 with a +14 differential, which is still something to be very proud of. We go into a bye week and we take on the Chicago Cubchews after that. So Dusknoir was 252, 252 special. Okay. Dusknoir 252 special. Excadrill 59 to 70%. Okay, so that makes sense. Man, that was a game. That was a game and a half right there. You know, in the end, the sand did hurt us a little bit because it whittled us down, but it also whittled him down. The thing that I feared most coming in, like I said, probably was Araquanid. I think I said that. It was Mega Absol and Araquanid. Those were the two. But I planned heavily for Ferrothorn and for Gastrodon. Neither showed up. And in the end, not having Psychic didn't matter. I mean, it did, but I don't think I was going to bring Psychic at all because of the fact that there were other pressing matters that I had to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Good game to TheXception. Good luck the rest of the way. He's now 3-2 on the season. He's won 3 straight. He probably is feeling pretty good about that now at a +6 differential. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Moonlight Swami, and I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace!